Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Uncle Badger and this is sort of a different sort of video. This is more me talking about my emotions and things and stuff like that and or thoughts about that. So I was going to sort of talk about the major news and stuff, and it sort of isn't really. It's more sort of like about it's more sort of, I haven't really got a plan for this video, and it's more sort of a general sort of, well, as I said, talk about emotions and thoughts, just briefly, because I know I've had a bit of difficulty in the past sort of opening up about a few things. Sometimes I've found it a bit difficult to do that. And I was sort of wondering about whether or not I should use my channel as more of a sort of a book of shadows, but a channel of shadows. Whether I should do sort of like where someone might write in something, general thoughts and emotions about something, difficulties that they've been going through and things like that, and write it up in their book of shadows. I was wondering perhaps about doing that in video form, doing videos, and it's just sort of, I don't really know, because I've had some difficulties with a few things over the years, and one thing I don't really want to do is start, well, part of the worry is I'll be talking about some very, very personal things, and part of one thing that I'm querying is that such a good idea? Should I be talking about such personal things online? I realised that I would get some very benevolent comments, from some very well-meaning people, some friends and things like that. I might get some neutral comments, but I also sort of realised that I might get comments from nosy people, busybodies, and also the dreaded troll. If I'm talking about something that's quite emotional, it perhaps would invite trolls to come along and troll. And it would open it up for, trolls would come along and troll, and I wouldn't be in the mood for it. Because part of it is that it's sort of, I've had a bit of difficulty getting back into the swing of some of my more spiritual life. It's because sort of about this time in 2017 I started having a bit of an awakening, and I think I've touched on it in other videos. I know I have the previous two videos that about this time 2017 I started having a bit of an awakening. I wasn't in the best of positions, and I, actively wanted to go about, becoming more productive and stuff. And so I was quite productive in learning stuff. I was looking at like fairy tales and stuff from Celtic history. I got into the Pleiades and star seeds and things like that. And I was looking into all of that, and because part of the trouble is I got into a relationship about that sort of time as well, and I think we bonded over spirituality, and because of that I think I connected my spirituality with the relationship. And although as a consequent thing, I don't want to, one of the problems with doing sort of on the videos is I don't necessarily want to bitch about them. It's a bad idea anyway, and the fact is, with the actual relationship, I'm sort of over it, pretty much over it, and as far as I'm aware, it wasn't to be. Neither of us are evil or anything. It was just sort of we were mismatched, and we made mistakes and out of misunderstandings and things like that. But again, I still look on them favourably, being the point. Still look on them favourably, and they had helped me out quite a lot. But eventually we sort of split up, and I think in the aftermath of trying to straighten my head out, I sort of realised that I'd sort of connected my spirituality to the relationship. So when the relationship ended, so did a lot of the spiritual practices. It was towards the end of it, it's like even with meditation, going into full-blown meditation and like trance work and things like that, and doing lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences and stuff like that. I seem to develop a fear about going into that. And I sort of have since. And I seem to be concentrating on more of the academic side of things. And I suppose what I'm sort of talking about is doing videos and putting them up as on YouTube and treating these as like entries in a book of shadows. Is that a good idea? Saying that I probably will be getting into some quite personal depths, and it's open for everyone to view. It's difficult, and I'm sort of thinking, I don't really know if I'm going to publish this video, and it's partly it's sort of, should I make other videos about it? I'm really not sure, because it's, yeah, it's sort of, I'm thinking that I could do with some help to sort of boost, to try and get over these fears. And me doing these videos about deep thoughts is one of the main things I can only really think about. I don't really like approaching one certain person, because it's a big burden. Some of the stuff that I might talk about might not be much of a deal, but it sort of, it is to me. Because in a way I think it's sort of like a number of the problems might not necessarily be very bad, and it's I could do with sort of my hand being held to get back into this, so a lot of this sort of stuff properly. It's something I want to get back into properly. I've done all these videos, and it's sort of, I'm only really sort of just dipping my finger or putting my thumb in dipping my thumb into those pies or whatever, rather than fully devoting myself to it. And it's how to do that, and that's basically what I'm sort of asking is this the best of ways? I don't necessarily want to there's stuff like have I thought about counselling? Yes, but it would be secular stuff. So, and as most of the problem is to do with spirituality, I would not really want to be talking about spirituality about them. And it's sort of, I was talking about like the nature. It's like talking about the nature of dreams and stuff. And it's like you're talking to entities in trance. It's in trance states, and of course that would seem very, very real to someone in a trance. But if you talk to a professional psychologist, they would probably say, "Oh, it's hallucinations. This is sort of like voluntary schizophrenia or something like that." Not necessarily probably the right terms, but we're talking about, I don't know, it's sort of like, which is why I'm worried about trolls coming on. I know there are some very supportive people out there, but also there are some very malignant people, and some people that are just amoral, they're just neutral, and they don't particularly care. And it's sort of, I mean, it's sort of like, am I asking for encouragement from viewers? I perhaps am. But it would be sort of me trying to sort of still sort of offer some thoughts, something with actual substance to it. It's like, the nature of trances and things, as well as me sort of talking about trances I've had in the past. So I don't know. I mean, would that be worthwhile? And it's sort of like talking about some deeply personal stuff that doesn't necessarily name names of people in more difficult portions of my past. So I suppose I'm sort of asking, sort of, what do you think? Should I go into stuff that's more sort of emotional? Yeah, bearing all that in mind, should I start touching upon things that are more emotional, more magical, stuff like the inner workings of minds and magic and stuff like that? Sort of like personal experiences and stuff. Would it be worth doing that? And as I say that, I think there was a little bit of light just on the opposite side of the room, just over there. This had one earlier during another video and stuff, and just appear and float around. Don't know if it picked up on the video, but it's like talking about this, and it's sort of like, I know there are a lot of videos about such experiences, but it's talking about them from personal experience, and I think that's the key. I'm wanting to talk about personal experiences and things that have sort of worried me in the past, and how they apply to things. And would people be interested in that? Sort of like, say, lucid dreaming on a personal and practical level, with talk about experiences, and it's sort of like almost like opening up the comments section as like a discussion forum, and people can talk about their experiences, and it being almost like say, if I did do a video on lucid dreaming, I would talk about my own experiences, difficulties I've had, and sort of like that sort of stuff. And people are open to talk about their experiences and difficulties they've had, and if anyone's got any suggestions to overcome stuff, or any encouragements or anything like that, yeah, then they're welcome. And I'm sort of wanting to, it's like, if I talk about like my awakening and all the difficulties that came about during it, would it would the personal experiences be encouraging to others who might have gone through something similar? That being the question. And wouldn't really be looking for. Probably would get trolls and things. It's like I think I'm sort of asking, would the effort outweigh any interference by trolls? Yeah, because I would want to be talking about a lot of things that I found quite difficult myself, and it's almost like I'm sort of thinking, yeah, it's sort of like group counselling, I suppose. Would that be, in a sense, like group discussions and group counselling sessions, group counselling session about people who are into paganism, into this sort of stuff, paganism, magic, witchcraft, alternate religions. Yes. In short, would people be interested? It's like talking about getting into sort of like deep personal experiences and talking about it, including like difficulties people have had, and the emotions associated with it. Would people engage with that in a productive way? Being the question. I mean, I think I might upload this video. I'm still sort of in two minds about it. Yeah. But if anyone has any thoughts, please let me know in the comments below. I'm not even really sure how to title this video, but I'll come up with something. And it's because I realised that I've not really even talked about a lot about what I believe, my beliefs, apart from people seeing, say, my collection of tarot decks, my book collection, and stuff like that. I mean, it's like getting into some more of my beliefs. Sort of, it's like a sort of could do with some. I don't know. It's trying to work out quite what I think about starseeds now, and it's a bit. I've been nervous about. I sort of do believe it, but I think I've been holding back. I've been nervous to fully look into it again. Yeah, and it's talking about sort of precisely why I've had difficulty returning to looking into starseed stuff and what's holding me back. It's like I'm into fairies and elves, chaos magic, runes, tarots. The tarot, although the runes I connect with more. It's like it's like I've got a set of Northumbrian runes, Anglo-Saxon runes, and I've got an Elder Fuddock, but I think I prefer using the Anglo-Saxon and Northumbrian Fuddocks. Well, yeah, it's like getting into sort of like that sort of stuff, more in depth. Sort of, I don't. Yeah, it's sort of like would. Yeah, yeah. I think to conclude, what I'm sort of asking is, would people like a deep emotional talks about this sort of stuff? Would people appreciate this sort of stuff? Would people join in? Would people take it the right way? Some of it would probably be sort of communal counselling, talking about difficulties in that, within practices and stuff like that. What do people think? Is that a good idea? Stuff like that. yeah, please leave a comment below. I think I'm going to be shut up. I think I'm going to shut up now. And of course, I do wish everyone good health. Yes. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye. Good health to you all. Bye.